Yo, what is up, guys? It's Pedro here. So today I got a remaining free agency targets for the Redskins. If you guys are new, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. So let's get into it. So this free agency has been okay. We got Kendall Fuller as our big signing, and then we've got a bunch of depth guys. We still have holes at the left tackle position and at tight end, and we also have small holes at cornerback and some other positions. But the main positions I'm going to be talking about today is cornerback, tight end, uh, tackle, and wide receiver. So some targets from all those different positions. So we'll first start with with cornerback. My One of my cornerback targets is Logan Ryan. He's going to demand a lot of money, but he did have a very good year last year. Had a bunch of tackles, a few interceptions. Isn't amazing, but is definitely an upgrade over our secondary right now. So I'd try to go after him, not pay too much, but I do think he could contribute right away to our secondary. So that's the number one target. And then also, the next target is Rashad Breeland. He's familiar with the team right now. I don't know how much he's going to command. Some people don't like him, but I think he got better in Kansas City. He had 2 picks last year, had another pick in the Super Bowl, so 3 picks. Played pretty good last year in Kansas City. Is going to be familiar with the Redskins system, or at least with some of the players. He played with Kendall Fuller last year and in DC, and has also played with Dunbar before. So I feel like the chemistry would be good if we brought him back. I don't really know what the money would look like, but I think it would be a pretty good option. And there's a couple others. Ross Cockrell played for Ron Rivera last year. Would be a good cheap option, some depth. I would not be mad with that. And Logan Ryan's 29 and Rashad Breeland is 28, so they both got some years ahead of them. So yeah, there's a couple other names that I see us possibly targeting, but I wouldn't really want them much. Xavier Rhodes, pretty old, one of the worst, or had one of the worst seasons of his career last year. So I wouldn't want to target him. Nicole Roby Coleman, he I think he would be okay, but he's more of a tackler. So okay, so next position is tight end. This is probably our biggest position of need, but there's not many targets for us. So we've got my number one target is Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron didn't have a great year last year, but that's also due to he was injured a bit and inconsistent quarterback play because Jacoby Brissett played really good the first half of the season, but then he got injured and he was kind of slow he didn't get stuff rolling like he was the first 7 games and kind of slowed down everyone else. So Eric Ebron would be a good option. We are interested in him, but not at the price he's asking for. So we'll see. I think this is definitely a realistic target that we could go for this year or next or this in the next couple of days because he's not a lot of teams are interested in him, but not at the price that he's asking for. So I do think if he lowers the price, he will be. We will try to get him. He didn't have a good year last year, like I said, but the year before had a great year, made the Pro Bowl with Andrew Luck as his quarterback. And Dwayne has a good arm; he'll get you the ball. So I do think I like Eric Ebron, and he's pretty young, 27, pretty fast too. Next is Tyler Eifert. He's like in the middle for me. He has had success before, but he's always injured. So this is another option. I don't know how much money he's going to command, but that's another target if you strike out on Eric Ebron. So those are my two tight end targets. Also, I do think Delaney Walker is a very it's a high possibility that we go after him. I don't necessarily like the move, but I don't hate it. He is very old, but he will bring veteran leadership to the team and can, if he stays healthy, which is a big if, get about 500 yards, which is a lot better than what we had last year. So yeah, I would not be mad with that. And then now we'll go to tackle. So left tackle right now we have really no one. We got Cornelius Lucas as a tackle, but he plays more right tackle, so we do need to fill this hole if Trent Williams doesn't come back, which looks like he won't. So my number one target is Kelvin Beachum, left tackle, played for the Jets last year. Didn't allow many sacks, didn't have many penalties. Is a good option, like I don't even know short term. It could be long term too, because tackles are starting to play until their late 30s, so we could sign him to like a 3-year deal, something like that. Draft a left tackle in the third round, something like that, and develop him while we still have Kelvin Beachum. I don't know. I think it would be a good option. He still hasn't been signed. And another option, this would be a very short term 1-year deal, is Jason Peters from the Eagles. Still can play. Started last year for the Eagles. Has had the last couple of years he struggled with injuries. But before that, one of the best left tackles in a long time. And I do think the Redskins should take a look at him if Trent Williams gets traded, which I do think could happen soon and might be to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because they're going to need people to protect Brady. So, yeah, I think this is the position right now. Left tackle and tight end is a position we need to address right away, because we don't have a starting left tackle right now. Well, if Trent Williams gets traded, we don't. And our starting tight end right now is Jeremy Sprinkle. So those are the two we definitely need to look at. And this one would be nice to add to is wide receiver. So we got my number one target is Emmanuel Sanders. He is a little old, but still played very, very good on a playoff team last year. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers went to the Super Bowl with Emmanuel Sanders as their top target, and he can still contribute, is still very fast and agile, pretty good route runner, can get open, and is a good receiver for a young QB. So I do think that would be good. I think his market value is around 10 mil, 9 mil a year. Would be a little expensive, but I do think it's good to add to this position group, because if you got Sims, Terry McLaurin, and Emmanuel Sanders, or the other targets I'm going to say, I think that would be a very good duo. And my next target is Brashad Perriman. Played very good for the Bucks last year with Jameis Winston as their quarterback. 26 years old, and let's take a look at his stats. Had a lot of touchdowns down the stretch. I do think that he is going to be a cheap option for the Redskins if we can go after him. So last year had 645 yards, 6 touchdowns. So 645 yards would be the second most receiving yards on the Redskins if he was on the team last year. So I do think it would be a good option, even if he doesn't have that same kind of production. I do think he can get like 500 yards. He's a good red zone threat, and yeah, only had one drop last year. So I think this would be a very good option. Pretty healthy too last year. Hasn't always been healthy, but I do think this is going to be a cheaper option that can help us very young and can help us right away. So last signing for the Redskins for receiver is someone that is familiar with Ron Rivera and I think would be very cheap. Devin Funchess played last year in Indianapolis, played only one game, was out for most of the year with an injury. So I think it would definitely be cheaper, but if we can get him for cheap, I think this would be a good option, because he's played under Ron Rivera and Scott Turner, so he has familiarity with the system, and I think he would be a good red zone target and big receiver for Dwayne to throw to. Yeah, let's look at his statistics. Didn't play that good last year, like I said, only played one game. But before that, had 549 yards, 840 yards. So still can produce, just last year. Didn't stay healthy, so he couldn't play. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think about these free agency targets. Like I said, tight end and offensive tackle are the most important for me. If we get those situated, then maybe we can look at tackle, or not tackle, cornerback or wide receiver. But right now, we got to go after left tackle and tight end. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Stay tuned for more signings. Probably going to have a few more depth guys today. Maybe we'll get a bigger name later today or in the next coming days when the market dries out. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.